Hello, my collective. Elsie here to drop just a collective reading on you here. Just thought I'd come by and drop one more reading for you on a Sunday. Some energy for you before we get to the sneak peek for the new week. I hope you're well. Thank you so much for clicking here. Let's take a look. We are going to do a 9-card draw. We're going to start with the Psychic Tarot. Then I'm going to clarify all the way through. And I feel like I need to do a reading for reasons why you might be stuck. So let's talk about that. If you are somebody who's stuck, and I don't care what area of your life it is, maybe it's money, maybe you don't know if you should leave the job or get a new one, maybe it's love, maybe you have to make a decision, or maybe you're not really sure what to do about a situation, or if it's, maybe I should move out of state, or out of the province, what should I do next? It feels like somebody here that I'm connecting with through my meditation. It feels like I'm supposed to do a reading about how to move forward from a place where you might be stuck. So let's do that. Let's try that first. Figure out what's going on for the collective. Let's draw 9 cards here from the Psychic Tarot and we'll work at it from there. Tell me about the collective, please. Collective, this reading is not for your energy, it's for everybody's energy. So if you decide to watch this, please put your intuitive hat on. I'll call out the signs and symbols as you need to hear them or see them to know what's going on if you aren't acquainted with tarot. And we start with somebody who's moving on. So look, it does feel like somebody who was previously stuck is about to get some energy to move on. We have the base chakra. So it feels like, this being the foundation, right? This is feeling a little more grounded, able to withstand the challenges that might come at you here. It's a very grounded, centered sort of energy. Tell me more. We've got wisdom, which is that is Taurus energy. That is the Hierophant. We have the crown chakra, some energy coming in, downloads coming in here. Spiritual strength tells me that you're going in by yourself to think about it, get some grounding, get some, it feels like after these challenges, it's time to recenter the self, I'm going to say. And the spiritual strength that you receive, it feels like it gives you wisdom about something that has had you stuck, possibly deception or envy. It doesn't have to be both. Maybe you've been feeling like someone's lying to you, or you're not sure of what decision to make. It feels like spending time in hermit mode is what you've been doing, trying to figure out the situation. We have the Sun here on the card with wisdom, right? We do have the Hierophant here, but it looks like it's almost like somebody here is. It's almost like somebody is. For some of you, you could be somebody who might be coming to visit you, somebody who is a Taurus maybe, possibly, but wisdom. This person is facing the sun, and the book that they're carrying, the book of wisdom, has a lot of, is reflecting the sun. So it feels like there's a lot of energy or knowledge, lessons that are being sprayed all over the place. That's what it feels like. And I feel like this book is something that you keep in your hand all the time, a companion. So it could be scripture, it could be a journal, it could be things that you are trying to learn, things that you've been writing down and trying to learn or remember. Wisdom is what the Hierophant has, right? The Hierophant is the one that is practicing being the spiritual leader. And when the Taurus does show up here, when wisdom is present, it's usually because you've learned some sort of a lesson. So maybe you might be learning a lesson about this deception and envy here. We have partnerships and alliances. I like it. We have positive movement forward. That's lovely. And we do have obstacles and challenges. It does really feel like you're trying to gain some clarity over a situation that I feel didn't work out for you. And it feels like it might have been because you couldn't see beyond the mask. And I feel like with the 7 here, 7s for me are always heaven, divinely guided things. We do have 2 7s here. Yeah, we have 2 7s here. It feels like through this crown chakra, this downloads that you're getting. The universe is sending you messages and you're receiving them in your spiritual strength. It feels like you're beginning to come clear about this person here. It feels like there is somebody in your life who is keeping you stuck. Now, this person could be someone that you know that is a best friend. It could be a mother, a father, a sister, a brother. It could be someone you're related to, a best friend. It could be in love. But it feels like you can't see under the mask, and this person intends on keeping you here for their own benefit. But I feel like you're smarter than that. You're wiser than that. And I feel like you've worked really hard to move forward regardless. And it feels like you're newly centered, I want to say. And so the obstacle and challenges is this deception here. I feel like somebody literally is stuck. We'll talk more about that. We've got awareness. It's card number 1, which is the magician. So I want to say that you have an awareness. You already have seen the deception. You've been feeling it. It feels like you need to dig into the tickle trunk, find the right tool to deal with this, because it feels like whatever you decide is the right thing, I want to say, because you do have an awareness, because the crown chakra is here. We do have transformation. So it is bringing you into some sort of transformative energy here. And the transformative energy, I feel, is the awareness, that you become awake and aware that somebody here is trying to keep you stuck. And I think the thing is this, is I feel like because they're hiding behind a mask, it could be somebody that you think is really good for your life. It could be someone who really loves you, someone who you think only wants the best for you. And, I'm not saying that your family doesn't want the best for you, but sometimes they want the best for themselves, which is why some people never move out of state. Some people never go chase their dreams because somebody in the family, usually a patriarch or a matriarch, wants them stuck, would rather keep them home. I see it all the time with mothers who have a really hard time with people leaving the nest, right? Sometimes we just want to hold them and protect them and keep them there. And so I don't know who that is, but we'll clarify it a little more and find out what's going on. What are we going to use for a deck, though? Okay, let's use this one here. This card wouldn't come up. What is it? Oh, it's the page in reverse. It wouldn't come up here. I was wondering why I was having such a hard time. It's like someone doesn't understand what's going on here. Someone doesn't understand why they got to move on and recenter themselves. It might be because you heard somebody saying something about you, like they would much rather you stay where you were than move forward. Tell me why we're moving on here, please. Tell me about the collective, why we're moving on. We have the Knight of Swords. So it feels like somebody has taken it upon themselves to say something and then go. It feels like you needed to tune someone in, collective. You needed to make it super clear about what you're doing, that you need to be brave and courageous and move forward. But I feel as though, there it is. We've got the Two of Cups here. It feels as though somebody... you needed to be very clear with somebody about how you felt about them. But I think you only did it in a way that it was like you threw them the information and then you carried on. That's what it feels like. The Two of Cups is here. It feels like you were very honest with someone, very honest and very transparent about how you felt about them. And I feel like you may have moved on. It feels like you needed to have some sort of a stability that this person was not giving you. We do have the Queen. Yeah, you liberated yourself, my friend. So I want to say that for some of you, you may have been stuck in a few places. For some of you, it could be someone who doesn't want you to go, someone who doesn't want to see you move forward. Maybe they picture it as you moving forward faster than they are. The Queen of Swords is here, and I think this was a hard decision because we have the Ace of Swords is in the hand of the Knight of Swords and also in the hand of the Queen of Swords. And so 2 swords up for me means that it was a hard time making this decision because you have a great love for this person. It doesn't have to be a romantic love. I feel like you had to move on even though you had great love for this person. So it feels like you're cutting yourself free. You have to be very honest with somebody here. I can no longer stay stuck with you. If you want to be in this vibration, which I'm sure is not a bad vibration to be in, but it feels like you want more for yourself. You're liberating yourself from the situation and you're moving on. Tell me about the base chakra, please. We have the Empress. There you are, sturdy and stable and balanced. And that's what the base chakra is, right? It's your foundation for life and feeling very grounded. The Empress is very much in balance. It's Taurus and Libra energy. We've got Libra, Gemini, Aquarius energy here as well. So I feel like you had to say it and then you had to go. You had to say to people, look, don't try and talk me out of it. I gotta go. I need stability and I need to go. It was a terrifying moment for you, I feel. The Tower is here. The Empress experiences the Tower. And it feels like this was something that you've been trying to get unstuck from. I want to say you're pulling out of a vibration. I always do this because it feels like somebody's like pulling a rope. Did you ever see Poltergeist, that movie? Do you remember the rope that they had going from the living room all the way through the bathroom and back down again? It feels like somebody's pulling on the rope. And it feels like the Tower comes. It's like I was pulling on the rope because I need the balance. I need to keep moving. I am abundant. I can do this on my own. I don't need anybody else. Somebody pulls that card and everybody comes down out of the bathtub, right? I don't know why I'm seeing that. Charlie's so crazy. But we have the Towers. We have Scorpio energy here now. So it feels like this Tower is like somebody decided that it can no longer dangle there. I need to get it grounded. There we are. We have the Eight of Pentacles. You've been working really hard on yourself. The realization is, look, I know what to do. I can go over the details. I am the subject matter expert of whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish here. And it feels like it was really hard for you to pull out of an old vibration into the new vibration of being the Empress. This is wisdom. You've learned a lesson here. This card here is number 5, which is the Hierophant. So when the Hierophant's present, it feels like you have learned a lesson here. Tell me about the Hierophant, please. We have the Page of Wands, we have the Eight of Cups, and we have the Nine of Pentacles. So I feel like the lessons learned here is that you need to speak up. You always have to say it, and it doesn't have to be planned, right? The Page of Wands is the one that's decided to throw their wand in the air and go wherever that thing falls. And the Page of Wands is not very prepared. You're at the beginning of some sort of a really exciting path, I want to say. There is a lesson that's been learned here. You're at this exciting place in your life. We do have the Eight of Cups, and you are definitely pulling out of this vibration. You are walking away, and it's not that the Eight of Cups was a bad place to be. Like, I want to say if you were living with your parents or living with a roommate or, whatever it is, maybe you had a great job that was paying, but it felt like a place that you were settling for. And so I feel like with the Eight of Cups being here, that maybe around the last full moon, like the last full moon was the 25th of January, you may have made a big decision or a promise to the self that I need to learn this lesson finally of going out there on my own. And I think you did it without notice, I want to say, with the Page of Wands present, that you just maybe sent out a big email to the whole family or a group text, or you got everybody in one room and said, look, I gotta go because this is your vibration, but it's not my vibration. This is your vibration, collective. Your vibration is the Nine of Pentacles. You need to do it single. You need to do it, you want to build something from the ground up. I feel like you're very confident that you can do that. It is going to work out for you, or the Nine of Pentacles wouldn't show up here. The wisdom that you've got is if you walk away and you do it in a manner that you want to do it, Page of Wands, without notice, without making a plan, that you can still get in this sturdy, stable sort of energy and do it all on your own. You can learn all of the lessons you need to learn on your own. Tell me about this deception and envy here, because I feel like this is what is keeping you stuck. Yeah, the Devil, right? And the Nine of Swords and the Four of Cups in the reverse. So I want to say that this is it, right? That's it. It's like somebody who's in the Devil energy. And I don't mean to say that they're a bad person. It could be a Capricorn. It doesn't have to be. But the Devil energy is about being captive, being connected to something you don't want to be connected to, or feeling like you have an attachment that you can't let go, or that they won't let go of you. And I feel like that somebody had you stuck here, but I feel like they did it in a deceptive way. And I want to say that maybe it came out as, look, but I love you. Why would you do this to your mother? Look, I love you. I'm your sister. Why would you leave your best friend? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it feels like it's a little bit of manipulation here with this deceptive energy. It feels like It feels like with the devil energy that somebody wanted to keep you stuck in a vibration, but you had to pull away. And it was a tough thing to do. You worried about what you were going to say, what you were going to do for a very long time. This devil energy had you worried. What if I don't go? What if I just stay where I am? Because when you do what you always did, you always get what you always got. And I think you broke the cycle. I feel like you are a cycle breaker. Like you are someone who maybe you come from a family of tradition where, your parents followed what their parents said to do, and their parents followed what their parents said to do. And they raised their children accordingly. And if anybody stepped out of line, then, we're going to crack them in the head. But I feel like you broke the cycle. You're a cycle breaker. I think that's why you're here. The Four of Cups, you were really bored with the place that you were at. And it feels like you were stuck, but it feels like with the Four of Cups in the reverse, you've decided I need the excitement. I just don't want to sit here anymore by myself. I need to be the cycle breaker. Tell me about the crown chakra, because I feel like you received some sort of a spiritual message, something from your source, the universe, that's telling you it's time to go. We've got the Six of Pentacles. It feels like maybe you were in a situation where you were giving away a lot of you. And if it wasn't money, and for some of you it would be, maybe you were a large financial contributor in your family home. Look, a lot of cultures, all of the family lives together, brothers, sisters, grandparents, all that kind of stuff. Maybe you were a major contributor in the home here, and it could be money, but everybody's got their hands out here, right? You can see that card. Everybody's got their hands out here. And so I think that you were willing to give for a very long time. You were willing to give, but I feel like you eventually feel like this is not reciprocity. Me giving everything to everybody is not reciprocity. It's me giving everything to everybody. And then the people who don't get enough complain, and the people who get too much won't share with the people who don't get enough. So I feel like the crown chakra is bringing a realization that you were the person who kept giving to everybody and nobody was really giving back. We do have the Ten of Wands in the reverse. It became very burdensome. And this to me is a bit of martyrdom energy. This is like, but I can't drop them. They need me. I can't drop them. But it became very burdensome for you to carry maybe the family financially, or maybe it wasn't financially. Maybe you were the one who did the cooking and the cleaning, and maybe there's someone in the home that was disabled. But it feels like it kept you stuck there. And a lot of people will live their lives like that. They'll live this life for other people, but we don't know what their path is. Maybe that's what they came here to do, is to be supportive, a supportive role for everybody else, but I don't think that's you. We do have the Four of Wands. Yeah, see? It feels like somebody tried to keep you in the home. It feels like you were like, but I can't leave. They all depend on me. But I feel like the crown chakra is bringing in messages of you gotta go. You have to. It's time for you to start your life. And I feel like they were keeping you stuck in this energy. And look, I'm not telling you not to support your family, but I'm saying that if you are the person who feels like they have an attachment or a hold on you that makes you not prosper in your life, it feels like you've been brought here as a person who is here to break chains, to break tradition, to not always do what you're told. The Nine of Swords in the upright is always doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result, which is insanity. It's literally the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. And so it feels like here with the Nine of Swords in the reverse, you're breaking the chains of this devil energy here. Tell me about the spiritual strength. This is at the heart of the matter. And I think this is the reason that you have any want to do any of this. I feel like you're really spiritually strong. Tell me about the spiritual strength. Card 9 is Virgo, which is the Hierophant. You can see that someone here, you can see they're sort of look like a monk a little bit going within here. Tell me about the spiritual strength. We do have the ships that are coming in. So it feels like you are in hermit mode when you have a realization that there's more out there for you. It's time for you to go out and travel, to expand your life. It's time for you to stop holding yourself back from whatever is out here. Beautiful things, the ships coming in, right? I feel like you're now waiting here for some beautiful things to come in. I feel like that when you decide that you're gonna go to the edge and wait for the ship to come get you, I feel like that's when you finally transform. When you actually get out of the grips of people and start listening to the spiritual self, and the transformation comes in, and what comes in next is a brand new beginning. And for some of you, it could be love. We could be talking about that, but it doesn't feel like that to me. It feels like it's a new beginning, a new happy, overflowing, emotional, like it feels like it's a transformation into love. All of the things that you've ever wanted are here. And I feel like that some of you will stay in the family home. You will stay in the family home, in the relationship, in the state, in the neighborhood, no matter how bad the neighborhood might be. But others of you, you've decided you're going to break the chains, and I love it. And I feel like we do have a partnership here. Partnerships and alliances. To me, that's the Three of Pentacles, and then we have a positive move forward. And then we have a little bit of obstacles and challenges. Let's figure out what's going on here. We have partnerships and alliances. Tell me about these partnerships, please. Tell me about the partnership and alliance. It feels like it looks like this is a flag. It's a blue flag. It feels like with the blue and the purple that your third eye is open and you're about to speak up and you're about to find somebody who is going to maybe give you a ride or help you out or take you to the place that you need to be. I was wondering if the Three of Pentacles would show. I should have just said it out loud, but this is the Three of Pentacles to me, and then the Three of Pentacles is here. So I feel like you are making partnerships, friendships, people who are going to collaborate with you, people who are going to be on your team, some sort of collaborative energy that's happening in the 3D. I want to say you're meeting friends, and it could be friends who have encouraged you to break free. You maybe see them doing it, and you wanted to as well. We do have the Three of Swords. And we have the Knight of Pentacles. I feel like it took a very long while for you to get over the Three of Swords. And the Three of Swords to me is giving me the energy of, I feel bad about it. I still feel terrible about it. So even those of you who are no longer stuck, maybe you're no longer stuck and you're finally on your way to your transformation, to, you put an end to it and now you're moving forward with awareness and you've got a new life ahead of you. I think for some of you that even though you're moving ahead, you've still got this guilt. It feels like, it's a long time guilt, and be patient, right? That's what the Knight of Pentacles is about. It's about being patient, going slow. And you don't have to heal overnight, my friend. You don't have to heal overnight. I feel like you found yourself a group of people who are in alliance with you, partnership, on your team. And I feel like these people here are also maybe a group of people who are dealing with the same thing, that they're leaving things in the past because they know they want to move forward. They're entrepreneurs. They're people who are building things. Three Pentacles, right? It's not the Ace, but we are up to the third Pentacle by now. So I want to say for some of you, it's going to take a very long time. Be patient with yourself about this Three of Swords energy. And I feel like you're on your way. I feel like you are on your way to opportunities. You're open to opportunities, but you're going that way slowly. Tell me about this positive move forward. And the Knight of Wands is here, looking straight at the Knight of Pentacles, saying, what is the deal? Why are you going so slow? There it is. There we have movement forward to the Fool. You are taking a leap of faith here, and I feel like it is a very quick leap of faith. It feels like for some of you, it's going to be like by the end of the month. It feels like before you get into March, or as you get into the first week of March, because this is Aries, as we maybe get into Aries season, that's when things start to pick up, that you start to notice that you really are moving forward at a very rapid pace. Now, things could be a little bit unstable, and that's the truth, and that's the entrepreneurial spirit. So whether you are out there to start a business, or maybe you're moving to another part of the world to teach people English or start a new job, it feels like this is a positive move forward. And I want to say that what you take with you is still the Three of Swords. I want to say you're going to be in this sort of feeling bad, guilty energy. I don't feel good about this move until you actually take this leap of faith. It's going to feel like it's a risk. It's going to feel like it's really risky business here. Collective. Tell me about the obstacles and challenges that the collective will be coming up against here. Yeah, closing doors is a hard one. Obstacles and challenges, it really is a hard one. It feels like after you finally do close the door from the place that you're stuck, this is the indication that you finally get out of the stuck energy. So I think what was holding you back, my friends, is the opinions of other people. Whether those people are ones who are romantically interested in you, or people who are in your family who love you, or people who are best friends, or people that really were kind of envious and didn't want to see you get ahead because they weren't getting ahead. I feel like this is your masterpiece. I want to say that when the World card shows up, it's the place where you finally take a walk through, you leave the old vibration and you're finally closing the door on the old vibration, which means you're no longer doing the cha-cha. You're no longer in the default energy, because even though you don't belong there, the people that you love are there, but they're not willing to come forward with you on this new journey. And I feel like you do close this energetic door, and that is going to be an obstacle and a challenge for you, because it feels like you're kind of breaking away. I feel that you're breaking away, and I see these as like orbs. I want to say that it feels like, I want to say that what's on your side is your posterity that's passed from this world before you, and it feels like you make a break from the family, and it doesn't feel good at first. It doesn't feel like a milestone. It doesn't feel like achievement. But I want to say that once you heal, you realize how badass you are. Yeah, you realize that you really are brave, that you did have the power to wield the sword and say, look, you guys can't keep me here. You can't do this to me. You had the power, but you didn't. And that is what strength is about. Now I feel like there's healing here. And as you come out of the World card here, as you close this door and reach this milestone, I feel like you are on your way, my friend, because we do have transformation and awareness here. So this big move that you made here is something that you were supposed to do all along. And yeah, you were the 9 of Wands. You were the wounded warrior back there, but I don't think you are anymore. I feel like that has come to an end. Transformation, or the death card, is here. And you have death to this wounded warrior, feeling exhausted, feeling the weight of other people's opinions, feeling like you were at the 9 and couldn't quite get to the 10. It's like you knew that it was right there, but you couldn't quite get there. Well, I feel like transformation, or the death card, comes in to say, it's time. There's another 9. It's now time for you to leave the 9 vibration and go out there and find exactly what you love. For some of you, this could be romance for sure. It could be that you will find a romantic connection, but that's not really what the focus of this reading is. We do have the Magician. It does feel like that possibly you're hoping that you're going to find some sort of a connection in love, but it's also a realization with the awareness now. You have the realization or the awareness that you have tapped into your full potential. And now, because you have healed, you've tapped into your full potential. You have all the skills and all the tools that you need to move forward. You can do it on your own, but you always could. You always could. You just had to turn into the Empress here, right? You just had to turn into the Empress in order to be able to move forward. You had to get your center of gravity, essentially the base chakra. You had to get your center of gravity and just speak it out and let people know, look, I can't do this anymore. You're holding me back from all the magical things in my life. I'm the magician. Whatever I want wants me, and I can go and be anything I want to be. So I think you have an awareness of who you are, I want to say. So we are removing the block here, removing the block and the sadness. We do have blocked and being sad, but then we have the King of Cups. The King of Cups is like, I look at it with my heart space, not with sadness, not with things I left behind, not with regrets, not with being stuck. What I'm looking at it with now is an open heart, and I'm ready to go. And I'm available emotionally, and I'm ready for whatever path this is going to take me on. And I love it. It's going to be overwhelming, absolutely overwhelming, but I think you're making it. I think you're going to do it. And so I feel like the reason that you were stuck is, people who loved you. I don't think it's terrible, the reason why you were stuck. I'm going to go for now. Thank you so much for coming here and watching. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to go for now. Love ya. Bye-bye.